This is Fabled Charisma, and today we are reading some Dungeons and Dragons slash TTRPG based Reddit stories we find on the interwebs. If Natanya, you want to go first on your Reddit story?
Sure. Just closed out of it as soon as you said that. All right.
Yours is short and mine's pretty long, so that's a good way to
I had a feeling.
Perfect. Mine's a little
yeah,
short and sweet
I love context.
for the shock factor. Am I the asshole for calling my GM for D&D a sociopath? Yes, I know we are nerds who play D&D. Last year, one of our players saw a golden retriever get hit by a car and die. This event traumatized her for some time, too.
Yeah.
So recently, our DM ran a haunted house. He did say the campaign would be a horror campaign with some bodily horror as well. We started with a haunted house. At one point, we found a golden retriever in the house.
No,
You know where
stop
this
it.
is going.
Stop
No.
it. Stop it.
Fuck. For real?
Later
Stop.
in a different session, when we finally reached the cellar, our group reached an altar in a flooded room. A bunch of ghostly cultists appeared, chanting, "One must die, one must die." Their leader demanded a blood sacrifice and threatened to awaken a horrifying plant monster otherwise. He said, quote, "The dog will suffice." The woman
Oh,
who saw this immediately excused herself to use the bathroom. I also spoke out saying that that was a horrible thing the GM just did.
yeah.
Another player took my side. The other player took the GM's side. He
That
said
guy's a
I
weirdo.
he said I did this to make this much more unnerving and unsettling to bring out those feelings she had in real life for this campaign.
Too
He
soon.
re- he reminded
Oh
it was
my
a
god.
heavy horror campaign, and I called him a fucking sociopath and told him I would not be coming back. The other player, who took the GM side, said I was being a baby and now they'd need to find a new player. The woman also told me she wouldn't return, but I'm wondering if it was worth permanently leaving. Am I the asshole?
What
No,
the
No.
fuck?
you
No.
didn't
Why
say
would you
enough.
do that?
You
You
didn't
say
say
it,
enough, baby.
weirdo? Like, she said
like,
that and he said, I have the greatest idea. I said, I'm gonna hold on to that one.
like, what the hell? Why?
Like, sure,
Why
that could
would
be an
you do
intrusive
that?
thought, but you don't act on it. You don't put it in
You're
there.
like, what if? But you
No.
with his whole chest.
No. Like, how awful.
That's
Why?
awful. That's awful.
That is bonkers cray cray. That's
As
so weird.
as you could imagine, everybody said that this person is not the asshole and was like, "You didn't do enough."
Yeah.
And also, don't
Agreed.
talk to those people. They're mean. Like,
Yeah.
they're just mean people. And a lot of other people made really good points about how GMs should not be using their players' trauma of any kind, big or small, does not matter, as any kind of plot point in the game.
Agreed.
As- in any way.
I
Yeah.
would
For their
definitely
character or
immediately
for
leave
any
that
other character.
campaign.
I
Yeah.
saw one where it was
That
like
is
a player
crossing
had
a big fat line.
yeah,
Mhm.
on that topic, I saw one where the player had bad arachnophobia, like really bad.
I
And
saw that one.
yeah, you saw that one? Yeah. Dude, I was like, 'cause the DM basically makes a part of the campaign all about spiders because
As
they know that that player
yeah.
is scared of spiders and they want to harness that fear. I was like, dude, that's messed up.
Just
That's so
like
messed
this
up.
what a dick move to do, you know? It's not even like I don't know, just it's
That's
just
too
a
far.
dick thing.
That's
It's like
crossing a
you're
line.
you're not a
Yeah.
good friend of mine if you would do that. That's
Yeah.
just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Exactly.
disrespectful, it's rude, like,
Yeah.
Agreed.
don't do that. So,
Agreed.
yeah, I
Any
thought that was a fun little one.
any good comments on it or not really?
Let
Is this
me I mean, a
all just
lot of
like,
them
what
were
the fuck?
very logical people
Just the same
saying
like
very
logical
logical
comments. Anything
things.
that's funny though?
Yeah. Let me
Like
just read through a few real fast.
someone agreeing with the GM, being like, "No, you definitely take that shit and you
One of
put
them
it
just
into the
says,
campaign."
"Not the asshole. That GM is sick." And that's all they say. Everyone else is like these like little paragraphs of like everything that's just morally wrong with that. And that guy was just like,
Right.
nah, that
He's
guy's
like,
fucked up.
ew.
Why a
Anyways.
lot of campaigns nowadays have a sheet that you fill out prior to it, and it'll have like a green, a yellow, and a red box on there, and they'll
Yeah.
go over a lot of things on there, like, hey, this campaign can't pertain to these things. Let me know what's I can't talk about openly, what's kind of like you can
Smart.
describe, or things like absolutely not, do not bring this up, I will leave. and it's
Yeah,
called a
Yeah,
lines and veil page.
that's great.
that's
See,
smart.
because it just makes it more enjoy. Like the whole point is to have fun. So if you can do everything you can for everybody to have a good time, like why not?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
I
One
mean,
of
agree.
the
we've even. Oh, go ahead.
You're sorry. One of the comments
Yeah.
says, "Worth it. Someone who uses real-world trauma to compensate for their weak skills and is proud of it is a rotten human, not the asshole." I think
Yep.
that sums it up
Very.
very
That's
well.
the smartest way somebody could have said that. That's fucked up.
Short and sweet like the post. And I love the way the person wrote this post. He said context, context, the story. What do you think? And
Not.
I loved it. I loved it.
All the
Wow.
ones where
Very
it's
to
like,
the
here's my
point.
entire 6-year
Here's
backstory and then the
yeah,
story.
like here's my entire life. Here's what happened like 2 weeks ago.
It's like I
Yeah.
was born in a tiny little town in Georgia.
Right. This guy was just like, "We play D&D. This happened to this girl." Like, "This is
Yeah,
what we're playing. This is what
efficiency,
happened." Efficiency,
efficiency.
Right.
quick. But when I was reading it and I just read the, like, part about the dog, like, immediately from the bat, I was like, "Whoa."
I
Yeah,
know. It's just
It
like
caught me so off guard.
I like to
we
imagine
played.
too, it was like the next session he put that together to have it hit, like, as hard as he
Uh,
possibly
like,
could.
he heard about that and was, like, fucking writing notes as she was telling them about
You're
it.
like, "Oh, that's good shit."
Yeah.
Wow. It's like
What was the
he's like,
car?
"I
What
can,"
was the make and
he's not
model?
he said, "I can see the emotion this is inflicting in you."
The dog have a name? They have a collar? What color was the collar?
Yeah, what color was the collar? Uh, wow. Alright, Annika, what you got?
All right. So mine is long. I love a long. I'm sorry. You guys have to sit through a lot.
Now I'm ready.
Um,
Love it.
I'm gonna
am
lock
I the
in your
asshole?
focus.
All right. Everybody, eyes on me, ears on here. Am I the asshole for not wanting my friend's little sister to crash our D&D campaign? I am 22, male 22, have a tight friendship group with R, L, and V. Follow along. All male 22. We met at our local D&D club and been hanging out for years. We've been doing this great campaign for about a month now, and we've been planning to have our campaign finale with themed snacks, drinks, and decorations in V's apartment. He has the biggest because he shares with his girlfriend. V also lives with his little sister A, female 11, after his mom died a few years ago. The plan had been for his girlfriend to look after A at her parents' place, but the day he messages us saying that she can't babysit anymore because her mom fell in some ice and was in the hospital. He offered that we could either rearrange or we could do it with A there, she'd just play video games in the background. Immediately, L and R say that they don't have an issue with her being there and we could even make her own character for the campaign. I don't understand this though. It was meant to just be us, and putting in a random new character in the finale would ruin it. Plus, A is super clingy to V. It's almost like their mom died. So I knew it would take his attention off the campaign if she was there. I asked V if he couldn't find an alternative babysitter for the evening so we could still do it as planned. He said he didn't want to put A with someone she didn't know, so last minute for I fucked that up. She didn't know, so last minute for something easily rearrangeable because he knew it would upset her. I get annoyed. I got annoyed then. Sorry, the grammar in this gets really bad, like right in the middle.
It's rough sometimes.
I was like, I was reading it, then I was like, this doesn't make sense anymore. I got annoyed at him for calling our event rearrangeable and called him out on it. He said I had to be joking if I thought a D&D campaign was more important to him than his little sister's comfort. I said I obviously wasn't saying that, but I wasn't prepared to have our night turn into free babysitting. B said he already offered to rearrange and that I was free to host myself sometime if I had such a problem with his sister. This was uncalled for because he knows I can't host because I don't have the time or space to prepare/clean it up. L and R both privately messaged me and basically said I was the only one who cared and that we should be sympathetic to V's situation. I have a lot of respect for V, but I still don't see why he couldn't have just put A with a babysitter for an evening so our plans didn't get ruined, or why his girlfriend couldn't take her to the hospital too. How is not wanting some random child at our game night an issue? They ended up hanging out that night. I was invited, but I didn't go, and do a one-shot campaign, which also annoyed me because we always played D&D together. My mom thinks I was an asshole because V is raising a child by himself. That's in quotations. But he has money from inheritance and gets help from his girlfriend's family, so he isn't alone. My brothers agreed that I'm not the asshole because V shouldn't baby A so much that he won't put her with a babysitter. I want some reassurance on this, so here I've come. Am I the asshole?
I don't know if this is one I just read on my own time or if this is one we've done before.
I don't think
I
we've
don't think
done
we've
this one
done this one
before.
We haven't
before.
done
Okay.
this one.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think
Perfect. I
I've
must
seen
have
the
just read it on my own
headlines.
time.
You're like, I know
I've
this.
I was like, I know this whole story. I was like, how do I know this whole story? But
So
um
So
essentially, it sounds like that they didn't want
one
to bring a babysitter, so they wanted the sister to be at the D&D session.
yeah,
Do I have that
so
right?
V has I'll break it down. So V is one of the players in their D&D group, and he has a younger sister that he takes care of because their mom died. And
Okay.
they all normally host D&D at V's house.
Okay.
And the kid, I guess, is normally gone and watched by a family member, but that family member was unavailable. So for their finale, the little girl was going to be there. And everybody didn't have a problem with it besides him, and he told her to just put him with a babysitter because it's their night. And the other guy that like has the little sister said that that would scare her, and so he wasn't going to put her comfort above rearranging the D&D session.
Why not
And
just reschedule?
Yep.
and so he mentions in there, why don't we just reschedule? And then OP gets mad because he says, why would you call our finale reschedulable?
Because
Because it's a
life?
fucking
Because it
game.
is.
Because life? What?
It's such there is not one point in that story that doesn't make me mad. Like it's so long, but how entitled do you have to be?
yeah. And well, and isn't don't doesn't he mention in there too that that person V's house is like the only place they can do it at?
Well, yeah, it says in there like they could do it at OP's house, but he said he didn't want to do that because it would take him too long to clean up his apartment.
Okay, well, if you're that much of a slob and you're not willing to clean and you're not willing to work with anybody on this, then you're the asshole.
It's
Yeah.
like there's
So
no
Yep.
many, so many options and resolutions were presented to him that honestly shouldn't have been, in my opinion, shouldn't have been presented in the first place because I don't think that should have been an issue that the
Should
right.
be.
little sister was there. But if it really bothered him that much, they offered there were other options and he was the problem in that.
It's like
Yep.
I
He
can
was the
get
one
it
not letting
if
that
like the
happen.
DM wants full immersion, not have to worry about it like a straggler on the side, but just
Yeah.
reschedule the session.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If it's that
Yep.
important, reschedule the session. Like,
Mhm.
And everybody else sounded like they were totally comfortable with her even being like involved with it, you know?
Draw her up a
yeah,
character.
Yeah,
Make
exactly.
her an
Draw up a
NPC.
character.
Make her fucking OP. Let her have fun.
Hmm.
yeah. The thing is, coming from a DM's, perspective on this whole thing, a DM does fantasize a lot about how the ultimate conclusion of the campaign is going to happen, and it's having just a random toss in can really jar things up. But again, my grievance is I can understand why he wouldn't want to throw just a random new character
Right.
or have her involved in some way, especially if it's the last episode of the campaign.
Is OP the DM?
No, he's not.
Yeah.
So the DM was fine
The DM's fine with
anyway,
it. Okay.
and he still wouldn't.
Yeah, it's just
And
a
I
player.
know it's a
Just a
long
player
story,
that had
but
an issue.
no, but I agree with you. Like even if like that they weren't cool with that, which is fine, they could just reschedule.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is just
Yeah.
reschedule.
Pick a different time. Like
Mhm.
obviously this guy, it's not his fault that his mom died and he has a scared 12-year-old girl to take care of. He's not
Yeah,
just going to chuck her anywhere for the sake of his friends.
yeah. Just reschedule. They probably play like every week. Just push it a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Do it next week.
Yeah.
Crazy concept.
Our finale for the first rendition, we pushed back twice.
for OG subspace.
Yeah.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
I believe you.
I remember
And I'm
pushing
not
it back.
surprised. Considering
I
everybody
don't
we were
remember
playing
that
with,
one.
but it's as simple as just rescheduling the session. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
If
like it
it's
could have
really
been
that big of a
ended
deal.
right there.
Yep.
It should be unanimous. Like everyone should be okay with it, or just reschedule it.
I
Especially
That's
also
if
true.
it's
Of
the
getting a fucking
finale
call.
of the whole
Also,
thing.
were you willing to pay
yeah.
for the babysitter? Like, what the
Yeah,
heck? Like,
yeah.
they have that's not free.
No,
Yeah,
babysitters are expensive too.
So
for
expensive.
real.
So
And
expensive. Like,
also,
yeah,
like, who would want to I mean, like, if she's not used to a babysitter, like,
Well,
yeah,
and her mom
that's up
just
to her
died.
and her guardians to decide if that's okay for her to be
Yeah.
in that situation. They obviously
Also,
decided it wasn't.
Wouldn't want
That's
some random
That
person watching my child or my sibling either after my mom just died. I'd be
After
like, no,
that,
I
oh,
like
yeah,
they're my
but then
responsibility.
who
they
was
stayed
it?
with a
Who
family
was it?
member for a reason.
Who was it that said this? You think the finale of our campaign is not reschedulable? Who was that?
That was
I think
OP.
yeah,
So
OP.
Yeah,
OP's not the DM though.
No.
No,
he's one of the players, and he's mad that he can't have a fully immersive ending, and that calling the finale
fact.
like reschedulable was offensive to like the
No,
campaign.
no,
Yep.
That,
reschedule it again.
that's the part, is that he's not even the DM.
Yeah, for one, the DM was okay with it, but I can get it because some of these campaigns go on for years. So
Oh
the
yeah, and
ultimate
wanting like
conclusion, you want it to be just the best. So I get it. Not wanting to be fully like you want to be fully immersed. I get that, but just
totally.
reschedule it. Just
Yeah.
reschedule
Give
it.
me fully immersed
And
on another day.
Yeah, exactly.
yes, and I think
Yes.
too, like while I was reading that, it was like I really hope that poor 12-year-old girl did not know about any of this.
Yeah,
Like
hopefully.
what a little
Mm.
inconvenience that would make her feel
Yeah.
like.
I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
she probably never heard anything about that. Anybody decent wouldn't tell her about
I
that.
hope not.
Right.
OP would beg you're a
That's not
little
her
bitch.
He
problem.
This is
said,
your
Yeah.
"If you
Oh my
want
fault.
to
god.
know, this is your fault." Anyways, couple of assholes.
And OP sounds like one of those
Yeah.
gatekeeping D&D players though. Like you can't play. You haven't played since third edition. Like no, you can't play.
That's the kind of guy who's like, "I'm just being racist. It's my character." Like,
Oh my god. Oh, like my Reddit story was like, I want to play a
yeah.
pedophile.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my god, that was
wild.
crazy.
That
That
was
was
wild.
nuts.
A pedophilic, what was it? Like a
Priest.
yeah,
Pedophilic priest.
that's
If you want
so
to see
weird.
that
Stinky.
episode, check the link below for our other Reddit stories if you want to learn about what happened there. But this has been Fabled Charisma's Reddit stories based on TTRPG and D&D alike. We hope you guys had fun, and we will see you in the next episode. Ta-ta.
Bye.
Boy.